Hello. Let's go,
Hello,
let's
hello,
go,
let's
let's
go, let's
go.
go, let's go.
Let's go. Welcome again, another episode. So we can maybe start with an overview about our progress so far. Jora, would you like to take
hmm
this over?
Yeah. So basically, in the previous days, we finished it with sign up. Yep, maybe we can even move it. Hey, to the completed tasks. And today we are gonna work on the login functionality. So we're gonna keep it in progress, and we will see if we will be able to finish the logout because I assume it's a very simple post request. But we will start with the login. And we were discussing, me and Mahdi, about how the user, not the, yeah, the user, either he's admin or normal user, it's gonna route him or redirect him to a different layout, but it's gonna be out of the scope of today's video.
Mm-hmm,
But for now, log in and it will take him to the dashboard. If you can, Mahdi, go to the dashboard
mm-hmm,
page.
mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm.
a user he start here, he do login or start with the register, of course, which it's already done. And then if he log in with his username and password or email and password, it will take him to this dashboard. Yep, this
Correct.
is the goal of today.
Amazing. So we have this dashboard already as a template in place. Of course, it will change. It has nothing to do with hydroponic trees, but
Yeah.
many things will change eventually. But now we just would like to focus that this is where the user will be navigating once he or she is logged in. And yeah,
Mhm.
as Njora mentioned, today hopefully we can get done with the sign in process and then take the user to the dashboard, right?
Yep.
Perfect. By the way, Njora, congrats on the new setup. It looks really nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Streamable.
Streamable. We were discussing whether to maybe ask ChatGPT about his guidance about we can give him an idea about what we did so far and yeah, take his advice because we were thinking whether we should start implementing the roles in the backend. So we would have an admin role and the user role. Um,
Authorization, aka authorization.
exactly, aka authorization. So we wanted to see whether we implement it now or we keep it for later. Should we do this conversation with ChatGPT or should we just keep it for
Well,
later?
it's hard decision, but we can try. Just one
Okay.
prompt, and we will see if he will give us a good guidance,
All
or we
right.
will follow our own guidance.
Then let's try. Yes, okay. Let's allow the microphone. I'm working on a full stack application, so we already are done with the registration logic. So each user has the ability to create an account and register. And now I would like to work on the sign in logic and then the sign out. And I would like to ask for your advice whether we should just implement it in a way that the user is getting redirected to a dashboard once he or she is logged in, or should we, in the first place, set set the user to shit set the user to have
Mhm.
to have a role like an admin role or a user role uh, before, and then we work on redirecting them to the appropriate pages. So usually in software development, should we just start with a basic register and login functionality, or should we start implementing everything as it will be done in production, aka giving roles and then we set the logic of redirecting the user. Okay.
There is some typos.
But yeah,
I hope it
anyway,
will not
I
affect.
hope it will understand. I did so much
It's bad
repetition.
feature actually. Yeah, but no, not that. That's the issue. But the thing is, it would be better if he suggests if you wanna accept this, and
Let's stop it. Yes, Jordan,
yeah,
you were saying?
you know what I mean. Like, it would be better if they suggest either you wanna enter this prompt or no after reading it or after saying it.
Ah, for being. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, it would
I
be much
mean,
better.
they wanted him to be like conversational. So like you speak, it listens, it answers, and then you speak again, and so on. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay, let's see
Okay.
an overview about what it did. So implement basic sign in and sign out for
So,
functionality, and then role-based access, and then redirect logic, and then recommended approach. So for the implementing the basic sign in, sign out, start with the basic functionality. This will ensure that the user can securely log in and log out.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and then this role-based access control, RBAC. Once the
I
basic
think we
authentication is
study
in
it.
place.
This.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Once the basic authentication is in place, you can implement role-based access control. This involves defining roles, assigning roles, and access control, restricting the access to certain pages for each type of user. And then the redirect logic. So with this RBAC in place, you can implement redirect logic based on the user roles. Okay, so okay, it makes sense. So it's suggesting that we first do the sign in, the sign out, and then
Makes
we
sense. Yeah.
implement the roles, and then depending on the role, we redirect them to the appropriate dashboard. And let's see with the recommended approach. Start with basic authentication.
It just repeats itself now.
It's
You can
repeating
read the
itself.
titles,
Okay, perfect. So this is what we.
which makes
Mhm.
sense, I think,
It,
because
it does make sense. Mm,
if we read it out loud, authentication, it means registration plus login logout. So we have to finish with the authentication, then focus on the authorization.
perfect. Yes, 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 yes. So maybe we can even create another user story here for
Mm-hmm.
the roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will be even taken to a different sprint.
Yeah,
Uh,
we can write it and then we'll see.
redirect user depending on its role. Okay, so we will work today on the sign-in logic, and we already have
Yep.
in the backend the login HTTP method, and this would take
Mm-hmm.
the login model, which is an email and a password, and it would just authenticate the user, and it would return the GWT token. So we
Mm-hmm.
just need to have that in place, and let's close all these pages, and let's open the login page. And today we need to make sure that we can you hear me? Yes, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, we need to make sure that it keeps the layout as it is, right?
Uh-huh.
Is there
Like
lag?
how? Did it change it before? I think there
Yesterday,
is some lag, yeah.
yeah, yesterday it made changes to the layout, to the design.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. The design, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
We can enforce this in the prompt to not change any style. No, I think we tried with don't change style, but it didn't. So I don't know.
I think we had it as an idea, but then we did not try it. But let's see today. We would suggest it if it's making layout changes that we know how to deal with it. Okay, let's close this to make it faster. Let's also I'm gonna close the ClickUp. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Let
yeah.
me make sure that
There is
it's
some
recording.
lag, by the way, and I don't
Yes,
know how you are.
I have a lag on my laptop because even the mouse is not moving in the right way.
And your face is stopped, by the way. Your face is not moving in the
Yeah,
Discord. I don't know if you can check yourself.
I see it lagging as well. I'm gonna close my camera and open it again. Better?
Lagging.
Test, test, test.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's better.
Technical
Anyway,
issues again. Yeah,
sorry
much
about
better
the
now.
technical issues, Njora. I'm just gonna go
It's
on
okay.
and you can stop me whenever the internet is not good. So we
Uh-huh.
would create now the prompt for creating the sign-in logic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Based on the login method that I'm gonna let's redo it. Based on the C# method that I'm gonna provide to you, which is the API endpoint for login. I want you to rework the login page and the login form in order to support the login functionality like it is already implemented in the register functionality. I'm gonna refer to you with these files as well. Make sure not to change anything in the layout and on the way how the components look like. And I would like you only to add the logic of sign in and make sure to add the API call under the auth API calls. Uh, I would like you also to make sure to pass the properties up and down between the login page and the login form, and the API call should be made from the login page.
Smooth, I like it.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's give it the login page. Let's, and what do you want to do? Continue. We would do the file login form. We would also give the register page and the register form as a reference. We would also give the auth API, and then we would give the prompt and we would give the login method.
Method. And wait,
Should
the
add
what
something
is
else?
reports page? What is it?
Where is it?
Why is it taking it in the nav of the prompt? Or yeah, third one.
Report page.
You
No,
see?
I don't know why. Yeah, let's. We need the register page.
Okay. So plus maybe in the up
Okay,
or there. Yeah.
so here we would give. Shit,
Ups
continue.
again. I think there is shortcut that you are
Yeah,
hitting
yeah, yeah.
by
This
accident.
and
Mm-hmm.
the register page
Yeah. First
and
one.
the register form.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's pretty much
I
it.
don't see it.
Pretty much it.
Register form. Perfect. Right? Anything else you
Yep.
would suggest to add
No.
to the prompt? Okay,
No, no,
let's
no, no.
just send it.
Bismillah. It added the auth API. It deals with the endpoints first and then login page,
Mm-hmm.
calling the API, hopefully, and then the login form, and ups and down the props. Okay,
Okay, let's see what it
should
did.
be fine. We can change.
Okay, it looks really
Yep,
nice. It did not change. Very nice. Okay,
yep.
so first it created this login API call, and it gives it sends as body the login data. It made changes to the login
Mm-hmm.
page, and in the login page we call this login method from the auth API. So it's exactly how it
Mm-hmm.
was implemented in the, you see, very, 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 very beautiful because we gave it an example. We gave it a reference that the register page and the register form is the right way to do it. So it duplicated exactly the same thing. And it also made
Yep.
changes
That's
in
why it's
the,
called AI.
yes, it made changes to the login form. So it got used from some use states, and then it only used this form data as a one state containing the email and the password.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
then it got rid from of use effect. Beautiful. I did not even
I
mention
heard a
this
lot of
is.
articles that I heard a lot of stuff that article and stuff that use effect is like you should make it as the last option or something because
Uh-huh.
it does some extra play load or something. It's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good.
So it got rid of that. Plus, this is an old logic from previous project, so it automatically knew that it should be removed. The handle click is also something old, and it got rid of it.
So
So the handle submit
we
is
create the handle submit,
just send
mm-hmm,
this on login and sends the
and
form data,
it pass
and
it
the
to the
on
form.
login is
Smooth.
exactly perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the
Just
GCX, it added the form. Yes, Njura?
yep. One thing, little thing that we need to change. I think the routes or the URLs because they are hard coded now.
Which URLs?
Okay, we start login page. For example, I saw something in the login page.
The login page.
Yep.
This,
Slowly down. Yeah, slash dashboard. Yeah.
yeah, this should be
It's
changed. I mean, for now, we can
yeah.
even, I mean, let's just accept it,
Yeah, yeah, for
or
sure.
like save it, test it, accept it, and then we just need to change this URL. This is not gonna work because we need to give a different URL. But nice point, Njur.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Save all, it's compiling. Let's run the backend.
Test, Maddie.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Ah, okay, good. You were frozen for a second.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm frozen like by nature.
Okay, build
Okay,
successfully.
yes.
Compiled. What's the difference between compiled and build?
Why do you ask hard questions, Njur?
Philosophical question.
Uh, I think build is it it's the operation that gets done before running the application. So you build it to make sure that there are no errors, but still
Okay,
nothing is running. Compiling it is like pressing on the green button, and then it gets compiled, and then it gets executed. So compiling, like
makes sense.
we studied this. There is some kind of like machine language that gets generated after compiling, and then the system executes this new language generated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Ah.
And it also hopefully
Mm-hmm.
added some logging,
Yeah, yeah. I saw it. Console, you mean,
console logging.
or
Yeah,
logging in the console? Yeah.
you see, so we have errors here for some reason.
I think it was the same error with the register.
No,
We will
yesterday there were no errors with the
see.
register, but then it redirected to the login, and then we saw the errors. But I think it was due to the part of the code that it got removed from this login form. So this thing, wait,
Okay.
here in this use effect, it was calling an endpoint that was not running, and
Mm.
I think this is the reason behind it.
So now we should get rid of it. Yeah.
It got rid of it. You see,
It
it's
should
in red color now.
be. Oh, good, good.
Now we just test
Yeah.
it and then we will accept it all. Okay, so we have our backend running, and we have test.gmail at gmail.com, and we have test123 exclamation mark. This should work. Login.
Very nice.
It's loading. We got the object that contains these two. Of course, it takes some time because this is the first call to the service after it started. Let's wait. It's still loading. Of course, in production, it will not be as slow as this. I won't be recording my screen. I won't be on Discord. It won't be local, so it would hopefully be much faster.
Okay. Now I think technically it's trying to redirect to the slash dashboard, which won't be able,
That
which
would
it
cause
won't
an
be able
error
to do it.
here.
But
Yeah, it will take you to 404.
exactly. So basically, we are waiting for the error now.
We are waiting to see logging that we were successfully logged
Logged
in,
in.
but then it takes
Mm-hmm.
us to a page that does not work. But this is
Makes sense.
strange. It's taking some time, right?
Mm-hmm. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh. Did we check the endpoint in the auth API? I think we didn't check auth API
What do you mean?
in the front end. In the front end. In the front end.
Front end
The API
here.
calls. I mean, sorry. Auth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you check this?
It's going to slash log. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I-
What do
i-
you mean?
Is
Did
it
you check
slash log? Is it slash login?
slash
It's slash
login?
login. Yeah, it's correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, make okay. So let's keep waiting now.
Very, very not good. Let's just put a breakpoint here.
Next train. Next train.
I have no idea where it's stuck.
Same.
Let's okay, let's reload it and see if it hits the breakpoint or not. Tuck, login. It would hit this endpoint. Good.
Uh huh.
So we have a user. It's trying to fetch the user. Wow, this is so slow.
Uh huh.
Guys, please watch this video on 1.5 speed.
125 maybe. Sometimes.
I really don't know what's wrong. Come on. Is it database issue?
I don't know.
Can we check? Or is it called link up database, tables? I believe it's a database issue. Like because I asked it to step over, so it does only one step. So I think it's still trying to fetch the user. Let's go to users,
Mm-hmm.
view data. Very nice.
I think. Yeah, I think also it's technical issue.
Yeah,
Um, mm. but I don't see like a very big payload or so. Okay, finally an error. A very big one.
finally, but I don't know if it's caused by what exactly. Try to look at the logs. Failed. So it's failing to connect to the database
Uh huh.
for some reason. Let's see. Can we see the database like
Strange.
this? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Test.gmail
This.
and the password is hashed. Okay. This is the auth controller. Let's just try it with Swagger. Login. Try it out. Test at gmail.com, and
Okay.
the password is test one
Test
two
one
three
two three.
exclamation mark.
Is
Let
it
me
capital T? Yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh.
and we have a breakpoint, so we should hit it. Let's continue to the return. So it should jump here. So the issue is in the backend, it's not in the front end.
It didn't jump.
It's still trying
Trying to jump.
to jump. See, you can here see the query that it's trying to
SQL.
do. Yeah, and here it's waiting for a long time. Maybe it did the same query earlier. No, right?
No. Okay. Maybe it's a connection issue then.
It's strange. Ah,
Uh-huh.
look. How
Oh?
come? Ah, it's returning here. So if
Mm-hmm.
the user is not null, it's returning here. Let's try it again.
But did it do the message? Ah, the message is gonna be the
See,
token. Okay.
continue. And you see, we have the token here. And then it's
Uh-huh.
returning an OK response with the token inside. So if we press continue, we would see the token here.
Yeah.
So now
Okay.
same thing should
So the
happen from the
backend is
front
good.
end. Let's delete everything. We have our breakpoints, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so sign in page, login. We reach the backend. Continue. It's exactly the same. Cool, nice. Okay,
Okay.
we hit the OK. We continue. We see the API response. Wow, it did
Very nice.
redirect to the dashboard.
So what? We
Ah,
should follow
because
it?
if you just put dashboard, it will take you automatically to dashboard/app. It's something defined in
Ah,
the
maybe.
routes. I can show it to you.
Ah, you can try it even if you delete the app. If you delete the app and press enter, it will take you here
Yes.
also.
But just wanted to
Very
show
nice.
that the auth
Uh-huh.
API and the login page, they are returning the GWT token. Let me test what you mentioned, Jura. I'm going to dashboard, and then it takes you to app.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah. Very smooth.
Of course, this would change later, and you see if it's like a smaller view, you would have this toggled, but you can open it and switch between the
Very nice.
dashboard things.
Good.
Okay, cool, nice. Uh, Nice. Now we can ask it that once it gets the GWT token, it should store it and it would show the name of the user here. I mean, there is this,
Yeah.
Jura, you know, this GWT token decoder.
Yeah.
Let's see how does our token look like once we try to decode it. So it's see test. Does it give the name of the user? No, right?
No. No. Because that's the thing, because it give the token based on the login. And the login it has just email and password.
Mm,
So I think we need to do some extra task to fetch the user based on its email or his email.
based on his email. Okay. Or
Yeah.
maybe we can include in this token, I don't know how is it defined exactly, but we can also include all data related to the user. Because I think the token is here, right?
Um.
Generate
Yeah.
GWT token. And this generate GWT token, it's in the auth controller. And it's returning Right token. This token. You see. Valid issuer, valid claims, expires, and signing credentials.
Sign in credential. Let's check where is the credentials.
You see here, it's defining a list of claims, including the email. And I think this is, I don't know what is
Oh,
GTI. But maybe we can also
uh,
define the name of the user here, and it will be sent in the.
yeah, let's try it. Yeah,
But no, no, no. I think the UI cannot decode the GWT. So based on the token, it will, as you mentioned, it will request the username.
this is better because it cannot
We can
take
ask
it.
it. We can ask ChatGPT about it. So whether we do that, so what do you suggest, Njora, for today? Should we work on showing the user here,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
should we work on the logout functionality?
I think user because it's part of the login and we didn't finish login, so
Uh-huh,
let's finish it.
correct. Okay. Then let's accept everything here. Accept all. Let's give it a commit so we keep track and do not lose all of these changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it added the login, add user.
Leonardo.
Then what? Okay. So one method here. Many changes here. They all still work. Use navigate, loading. Aha. See here, Njora? It's
Where?
suggesting that the response store the token in local storage and more secure or a more secure storage. So we can ask it to store it now. Then it redirects to
Mm-hmm.
the dashboard. Okay.
It is already storing it, or no?
I
That
think
line
it's
is
not.
storing it.
Is it? I did not check. I just read the comment.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yes,
is.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice point, Zora. So if we look at our local storage, when we go to application and then local storage, we would have a token here.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yep.
nice. Very, very, very nice. I need to get rid of all of these useless keys and values.
Uh,
These are
they're
from
coming from the
previous,
template, yeah.
whether from the template or from the previous projects, like this project ID and player object.
I remember it. I remember it. I remember it.
The
Yeah, yeah,
player object is
yeah.
from
Lugaru and
Lugaro.
portfolio. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe. Hmm. Maybe they are just stored in my browser and they're not. They have nothing to do with this specific project. I just need to
Maybe
double
we
check
will
it.
see. We will know. Yeah.
Okay, so it's storing the.
Okay.
Nice, nice, nice. Good. Okay, so we can commit everything here. So the login form has these things, and we already gave it a test. So the review is done, right? Okay, perfect. Let's
Yeah.
commit it.
So I'm thinking now about if we go to the backend where the token is being created
Mm-hmm.
and ask the AI which is the better idea if we add the username to the token and then encrypt it, decrypt it. I think there is, by the way, because I remember there is encode and decode
Yeah, yeah.
related to GWT. So whether is it better to encode, add the user in the backend and then decode it in the front end, or just let it as it is and then reference to it. But even referencing to it is gonna be in the backend. I think that encode decode is gonna be better, but that's the next prompt I think I suggest to do.
Uh-huh. Should we ask like cursor Composer, or should we ask ChatGPT to give us an idea how is it usually done?
Hmm. Doesn't really matter, I think. But I think no. ChatGPT or another, because we're gonna copy this code and
Uh-huh.
then show it and then add him a prompt. You know? Yeah.
So we copy this, let's say
Mm-hmm.
to Copilot, right?
Let's say yeah. Let's change
Yeah. I don't know.
and then
Like
ask
lately,
whether
I'm
it's
really
better
enjoying
to
Copilot.
follow the approach of encode decode or reference.
Hmm? No, sorry, latency, Njora.
Lately,
Please
what?
continue. Never mind.
Yeah. Just I mentioned that whether ask him whether to follow the approach of encode decode or the reference to the username by the email.
Okay, okay. So we will say that we are sending after the login a GWT token that is defined in this method to the front end,
Mm-hmm.
and we would like the front end to show us the name of the user who is logged in. Should we
Mm-hmm.
include the name of the user in the token as a claim, or should we ask the front end to decode the GWT and then get the username and then send an HTTP request using the email to get the user name. This is
I
it.
think when you said it like this, it's very obvious that we should follow the first one, if it's possible, because it's gonna add
If
another
it's possible.
HTTP request.
Mm, but I think it would be like sending the GWT token as a header and then asking the backend like get name or get username. You do not
Maybe,
give an
yeah.
email as an input. You just okay. Let's ask it seriously. I'm really
Let's
curious.
try
I've
it out.
never
Yeah.
asked this question
Let's try
to
it out.
someone before. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Let's give it.
Let's give it. Okay, I have this method that writes the GWT token, and I would like you to tell me what are the best approaches when using login logout functionality and using GWT based authentication. If currently we are the user from the front end is using this sign in using the email and the password, and it's receiving the GWT token and it's storing it in the local storage. What if right now we would like to show the name of the user that is logged in the front end? How to do that? Should the front end decode the token, or should we use the token and send kind of a request to the backend in order to fetch the name of the user that is logged in? Uh, Consider me that I don't have much experience with GWT based authentication, and tell me what are the best practices and the approach that I should be following. I think it's thinking, submitting. Uh, it's an approach for modern web applications. You wanna listen?
No.
Okay, Nzura is racist against AI. Okay. Some information about best practices. So, best practices, secure storage, avoid local storage. Okay, one day we will store it somewhere
Okay.
else and not using the local storage. Storing the GWT in local storage can expose to a cross-site scripting attacks. Instead, use HTTP only cookies to store token securely. Okay, token expiry and refresh, short-lived tokens. So each token has an expiry and automatic logout. Ensure that tokens are invalidated on the server side upon logout to prevent reuse. Hmm, interesting stuff. Token validation, signature verification. Always verify the token signature on the server to ensure it has not been tampered with. Claim validation. Validate the claims within the token, such as the expiration time and the issuer. And this CSRF use these tokens to conjunction with
I
GWT.
know CS
No?
Syria. I know it, but I forgot. Yeah,
Let's see it.
TSRF.
Wasn't it the thing that we just saw in a bit?
I
Claim
think no,
role.
no. The other there is a B in the other, no?
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what is CRF. hmm Let's copy it. CSRF. Cross-site request forgery. It's kind
Okay.
of an attack. Yeah, it's a
It,
type of attack.
yeah, it's a tool.
It's good. We need display
Mm.
user information on the front end. To display the username on the front end, you have two main approaches. The first is to decode the GWT on the client side. You can use this GWT decoder, as you mentioned, Jura.
Mm-hmm.
You get it from the local storage, decode it, and then show the username, assuming that the token contains the username. Or the second way
Exactly.
is fetch the user information from the server. Alternatively, you can send a request to the server to fetch user information using the token. This approach ensures the information is always up to date and verified by the server. Mm. So you
I don't
can,
see why it has to be verified by the server. Like it's a credential stored in the database. So why do we need to verify?
I don't know, did it
You know
give
what I mean?
some reasons? Yeah. I'm hesitant now. Which one is better? This approach ensures the user is all up to date. Right? So else we can fetch user info and we pass in the header the token and then we get the data. Example implementation. Here is a simple example of how you might implement second approach. The backend you would have get HTTP request for user info and then user for find first using the claim type name identifier value and then
But
find the
what
user.
is that exclamation mark? If there is a value,
Yes, if
there
it's not
should
null.
be a value.
It can be null. Maybe when you use find first, it will look for the user with this specific condition. But maybe it will return null if the user does not exist, and that's why we use it. Because if it's null, then we
Ah,
do not check the value.
makes sense. Makes sense.
hmm And front-end request, we would get the token and then send get user info. I really don't know which approach to take, but since in so many other requests we would be sending the token as a header, so maybe we can do it like that right now.
With the decode, you mean?
Well, no, my idea is that with the decode, this will only be needed to get the username. But then we would need many more data, like we would need eventually in the future the job applications, and we would need the user education and so on. So we cannot always include everything in the GWT, and that's why maybe we would only rely on endpoints. Do you get it?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Or should we ask it to show the username? Hmm. Hmm. No, right? Okay, let's stop the solution first. Should we open cursor? Jura, I don't know if you still have time. Do you want to do this tomorrow or you still have time? You can do it now. You
Mm,
mentioned
I'm
that you would
curious
be
to
bounded.
try it.
Okay,
We can try it for less more than 3 minutes for, and then I will leave, and then we can you can continue with, and then we'll see tomorrow how it will go.
okay. Then change system program.cs. This would needs to be included later. Okay. Then let's open cursor. Let's open the backend solution with cursor. Right? We can. Okay.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. And ask him to not change the architecture of the files at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah. These are things that you need to always explicitly mention to cursor. Okay, so this is the backend solution. Okay, let's open folder. I don't know why I did not open the solution directly. Let's go to backend, link up service, open it. Let's close this. But it's good, you know, like it knows so many things. It knows about all of these kinds of attacks. It's suggesting even better ways
Yeah.
to store the token, not on the local storage.
Hmm.
Nice. Maybe eventually in Jura we can place the front end and the backend solution in only one folder and then start opening that folder with the cursor, and maybe it can do changes in the front end and the backend at the same time. Maybe this we can try.
Yeah, it's good, but I don't know how efficient it is if there will be a lot of context.
Mm.
Unless maybe if we specify the exact files, it can be good. We can
Mm-hmm.
try it, yeah, once.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we have user? Yeah, application user that has first name and last name. Okay, so let me record a prompt. Do not change anything in the architecture of this solution. So it's always missing the first few words.
Mm-hmm. Wait for a few seconds,
Mhm.
extra.
Do not change anything in the architecture of this solution. I would like you just to add a new file, which would be the user controller. And I would like now to send a request from the front end, and I would specify in the header the GWT token, and I would like to have this get endpoint returning the user information, which is the username and the user family name. Uh, Make it in a way that this file will be like updated in the future, and let me know if there are any best practices to keep in mind. Okay, so we have the composer. We gave it the application user as a reference.
Mm-hmm.
We can just enter right. Meanwhile, let me check my cursor account and see how many prompts did I use so far. Hopefully they get renewed every day. So it's talking. Certainly. So it created this get endpoint using the authorize, use dependency injection to register it. There is error handling. It created DTO. It create these are the best practices that it's suggesting, using DTO.
Caching, logging.
Yeah, versioning, caching, logging, rate
Okay.
limiting, nice stuff. Okay, let's see
Good,
the
good, good, good.
user controller that it generated. So it's using API and then user. We should be authorized to use this class and then get user
So
info.
authorize is built-in, I think. It's a built-in in ASP. We
Yes,
authorize
yeah, it's an attribute
attribute.
that you just
Okay.
need to mention in order to only give this information to the person who is authorized. And then get info.
Mm-hmm.
It will return the user info, which is the new type, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Username,
Yeah,
username, first name, last name. Mm-hmm.
there is no username. Okay, so now let's open it here
Okay.
and we need to save first. So using
And then
cursor.
this new type, which is user info, it's gonna be in the future we add extra information there, yeah?
Yes, yes, like other information
Mm.
in the user info. And then, as it mentioned, maybe we use several
Mm-hmm.
DTOs. So
Mm-hmm.
username. So we have a user. This user info is of type. It does not show which type. Ah, no. Hmm. Let's go here. So we have in the data, right? No, we have in the modules the application user. So we can just
Mm-hmm.
return application user, right? New application user.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it recognizes it.
And get
And the application user does not have a username, which is good. That's what I assumed. And here we can add more properties in the future.
yeah.
And then it's
Uh-huh.
returning this user info. So the return is going to be a task of iAction result of type application user, right? Or my, oh, maybe, since it's a result, then it does not need to specify what would be the content of it. Okay, 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 my bad.
Okay.
So get user info, which is API slash user slash info. And let's take all of this controller. Of this
Okay, Mahdi, I think
class.
I'm gonna stop here.
Okay, Njore, I'll
I'm
take just
gonna
5 minutes
leave,
and
yeah.
give it to the front
Yeah,
end, and you can watch the video
sure.
if you want to see what happens.
Good luck, yes, good
Cool.
luck. And thank you everyone. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you, Njore. See you tomorrow.
Good
Bye
night,
bye.
good night.
Okay, guys, I'm alone again, and I would let me close this. Uh-huh. And then what we would like to have is that we would like to show the name of the user here. So this is the dashboard app, and that's coming from which file? It's coming from the dashboard app page, right? Ah, no. Okay, so whether we can show it here or we can show it uh, in the name here, and this name is in the dashboard layout. So we can go to layout, and then dashboards. This is the dashboard layout, and we have in the nav the name of the user, right? Display name, and it's coming from the account, and this account is here. Okay, It's just a mock data. So let me write here user name in order to find it. Ah, no, I cannot. It's just, it's not a comment. Anyway, it should be smart enough to find it. So let's open cursor. After this, what we would say is that save again. Let's open Gemini, and we would like to say now I would like to show the name of the user that is logged in the dashboard layout on the section, which is the nav section. So instead of the account dot display name, there I would like to show the name of the user. It stopped because I switched. Okay, let me record it again. I would like now to show the name of the logged in user using this method that I'm gonna give to you, which is a get request defined in the backend. Make sure to show the name of the user in the dashboard layout in the nav section instead of the account name. And yeah, you can suggest where you want to include the name of the user as well if you need to show it somewhere else. I'm going to give you now the method that fetches the user information which contains the user info. Contains the user info. So this is the prompt that we would be using. And then we would give it the controller code, and maybe we can reference the files that would be needed. So the files that would be needed is the dashboard layout, the nav section. Is it nav section? Yes. Right? This file, where is it? Index nav. No, just this is not the right one. So just give it index nav. So this file, we can even give it the dashboard page. Maybe it would make changes there. What is we can give it the auth API. What else should be given? Right, this is enough, I guess. Yeah, let's try. Let's in the meanwhile accept everything that the backend gave. So let's accept all. And we have our backend here. Let's put a breakpoint in get user info and let's run it in order to test the front end with it. This is generating, so okay. Add the new function to the auth API, and then it updated the dashboard layout to fetch and display the username. update the component to display the username, and finally update the dashboard page to display personalized welcome page. This is what I wanted. I wanted it to say, hi, welcome Mahdi, for example. So this is what it would do. The username will be shown instead of the static account information that is there before. Remember to handle any potential errors as where the token is invalid or expired by redirecting the user to the login page if necessary. Perfect. Let's see what it did. So it made changes. Let me expand a little bit. So it made change. Okay, this is accepted, right? So no changes here. This is also accepted. And then let's look at the auth API. This is the new function that it created. It's calling our endpoint and then user info. Good. It's getting the token from the local storage and it's setting the token in the headers. Okay, perfect. This looks good. And then the dashboard layout, it's calling useEffect to get the user info and storing it in info, and then we set the user info state. Cool. And then we give the user info. Nice, it gave it to the header and to the navbar both. Nice, nice, nice. Then we need to make sure to remember to make changes to the header, and the header is this section, so we would like to change it here as well. And now it's passing the user to this nav, and here it is. So we are getting the user info. Tuck, 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 tuck. And here it is. So we show if there is a user, we show the user first name and the user last name, else we show loading. Perfect. Okay, let's go back to the composer and let's save it all and let's test it. And I think we have a token stored in the local storage, so we can already see the name updating hopefully by tester. Okay, we have an issue in the dashboard page. So what should occur before what? React should occur on top. Perfect. Can we see? It's loading. Maybe the token expired. Okay. So we hit the get request in the backend. So let's press continue. And now we should see the actual name of the user, hopefully. No. Let's inspect it. Failed to fetch the user. Okay. It's returning a 404. Maybe the user is not logged in. So let's try it again. Let's log in with my user. And let's use Mahdi@gmail.com and Mahdi123 and exclamation mark. No? Mahdi123. Come on, this should work. Why not? Post. But request. Okay, let's try it with test. and we have test 1, 2, 3 exclamation mark. It's not working. What's wrong with the login? Let's put a breakpoint in the auth controller in the login. So okay, it's not even reaching here. What's wrong? What's wrong? Let's refresh it. Start from scratch. So if we look at the tables, we have Mehdi and we have the test at Gmail. Let's look at the password. This looks good. Login. What's wrong, bro? Let's investigate. So the post is not working because it's going to API slash login, but it should be API slash auth slash login. Why did it change? Okay, so it's changed it. Okay. So it changed it to API, but then we need the auth on both the login and the logout. So we take this and we should give it to the login and the logout. So it's mainly our fault because the URL should be more generic. Okay, this looks good. Now let's try again. Okay, login. We should hit the backend. Cool. We need to continue to get the user. Cool. We continue. We get redirected. We try to you see like it's still loading. We are trying to fetch the user info. Let's go step by step and see what happens. So we have user ID, test at Gmail. We try to find the user. If it's null, okay, so we cannot find the user by ID. User manager find by ID. Okay, so maybe we need to find by email or username or something. So this is an issue. So here is the problem. And then fetching error, you were not able to find the user. Right. So here, instead of find by ID, what do we have? Find by email, async. Right. Login, find by name. Find by email. And here we get the user ID. Instead of user ID, we would need claim types, name identifier. What are the other claim types that we have? Email, maybe. Is it recorded like this in the auth controller? So the claim type here, user email. Name identifier, which is the ID. Not so sure about this. So we have the username. Find first, what was it earlier? Name identifier. So the name identifier Hmm. I mean, it should work with the the current setup, but I'm not so sure if it's the right way to do it or not. Find first with claim types. The issue is that in here, when we were generating the token, we are specifying the user email, but we do not know. Okay, so let's ask it. Let's ask GitHub Copilot in this case. And let's bring it as it was. Find by ID, right? Okay. Let's create a new chat. And let's say using a voice recorder. So this is returning a 404 even if the user exists in the database, and I assume it's because we're looking and we're finding the user by ID and not by email. So I want you to refer to the token generation method, and also refer to the current logic for fetching the user information, and please tell me what is the issue and how to fix it. Okay, so now it has access to which files. We should give it access to the user controller and access to the auth controller, and let's give it this prompt. Good. Okay, so it's suggesting due to the way user ID is being extracted from the claim, get user info method in the user controller. If user ID claims not present or incorrect, the method will return 404 if the user exists in the database. This is what's happening. To fix this, you should ensure that user ID claim is correctly set in the generating JWT token in the auth controller. Let's work through the steps to ensure this. Ensure user ID claim is correctly set. Generate, make sure. Okay, let's see what changed or what's suggested. So this is username, this is UTE, and this is claim username, and it gives the ID. Ensure what? This claim is set correctly. Okay, looks good. And then the user controller. Add more properties as needed. I don't know, I think it's not helping me. Name identifier, user ID. Let's look at the ID in the users table. So the ID is good, right? And here when we ask to fetch the user, find first, claim type, name identifier. And here, name identifier, user ID. So is this the case? Let's look at the auth controller. Name identifier, user ID, and then the user controller, choosing name identifier here. So this is good. Then find async by user ID. Strange, it's really strange. Okay, Copilot's not helping. I would say let's just, when we get here, this would be called user email. and if the user email, right, we need to test it, of course. This would be user email and this would be find by email async. Let's test it. This is still loading. Okay, so we're running the solution. We can close this. Let's make sure that it's still recording. Okay, long video for today. Yeah, hopefully we are almost there. I'm still recording on Discord, which is not such a good idea, but never mind. So, never mind. Let's test cursor another time. Okay, so we have the backend running. We can again do the same thing. So let's go back to the home page. Let's refresh everything. Apparently we have issues in the home page. Okay, we need to fix them eventually. We're interested in the login, not the register. Let's log in using the test user. This should, will it hit any endpoint here? No, right? Yeah, it should hit the login here. Okay, so we continue. We get our user, and then, okay, let's see if this is the user email. Perfect, okay. So let's step in and let's find the user that has that email. Okay, it found that user, and these are all the information related to this user, which is great. So now it should work. We would create a new user information, and it would contain, so this is how the user, the application user object looks like. Strangely, it does not have an email. Okay, so we should also give the email here. Okay, and then we would return it. So let's see here. So we have the user info, and if we look here, we can see it working. Very, very, very nice. So the login functionality is over, guys. Finally, this was not easy, but yeah, it was fun. What we have right now is the ability to register a user, to log in for a user, and then to go to the dashboard if the user is logged in. So let's look again at the dashboard. Let's remove these breakpoints and continue. So we can see the testing user. Let's maybe test with my other account with Mahdi 1 2 3 exclamation mark. Let's get rid of this breakpoint, and we would see it's loading and it's showing Mahdi. Perfect. Okay, so this is exactly what we wanted. Okay, thank you guys. I'm gonna stop here, and this was day 7, already 1 week, which is great. I'm really grateful for this experience, and hopefully tomorrow we would finish from here. Thank you all.